Now, our next guest says she's always hated the way her nose looks, so last year finally made the decision to do something about it.
But after discovering a nose job would cost her around £7,000 privately, Carla Bellucci says that she instead decided to fake mental health and breathing problems to get the operation free on the NHS. And she joins us now to tell us why she's actually proud of milking the system. And welcome. Wow, I mean, it's a big thing to go public on something like this, and you are going to get battered on social media. How do you feel about that?
To be really honest, I get battered on social media anyway, before this. I get a constant, trolling 24/7.
Why? What have you done before?
Just literally former glamour model, got an Insta page, influencer, put some nice pictures, nothing not above board, you know, nice pictures, but people don't agree with it. I'm a mum of three and I get trolled 24/7.
Well, the thing is that you can, you know, that's unfortunate. You are entitled to any career you like, and it's unfortunate that you get trolled for being a glamour model. That's a career that you've chosen. However, it's very different when you freely admit, happily admit, that you've milked the NHS and you have lied. You've been a parasite on the NHS.
Obviously, like press and media, they have, like, what I've said is true. I'm going to stand by what I've said. I did bend the truth to get a nose job.
No, you
on
lied.
The NHS. I lied. Yeah, I'm going to take the backlash. I lied, but I do work. I was born here. I feel like I'm not really done anything that wrong.
So you feel entitled to something even though it's for cosmetic purposes, not for a real reason? Because the NHS is there not for cosmetic procedures.
It is, but I think I'm one of many. I think I'm just the one that's come forward, and there is cracks in our system.
OK, well, let's start at the beginning of this anyway, because you've always been unhappy with your nose, haven't you? Why? What was wrong with your nose in the first place?
It was just something in my mind, when I looked at pictures, it was slightly off-centre, I had a little bump, even to the extent where I went to see a private surgeon, and I was like, how much would it cost to get my nose done? He was around £7,000, he said, so... I was actually advised that it wasn't really worth paying for because...
The difference wouldn't be that huge.
No.
And you paid for cosmetic surgery in the past, so you've had other procedures. So you're not afraid to pay for things, but for this, because it wouldn't make that much difference, you thought, actually, I'll let somebody else pay for this.
I'm going to be really honest, I was surprised to get this nose job. As much as anyone else, you know, it started off as a bit of banter between friends. I was like, I've been to this surgeon, they want £7,000. My friends were like, don't do it, it's not worth it. And I said one evening, I was like, I'm going to see. I'm going to see if I can get this nose job.
So you went to the doctor, your GP, and what did you say? Because this is where the lie begins, isn't it?
I literally just said that I wasn't happy about my nose. It made me feel unhappy in day-to-day life. It did get me a bit depressed and down, which was an exaggeration of the truth. I've never been clinically depressed, or I've never got no, proof of being depressed, but I just said it. I was advised to say a few things, and before I knew it, I was advised to say things by a GP.
So the GP that you've also admitted that you flirted with?
What flirting is like?
Well, no, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. You lose your looks a bit. You know, I'm a friendly person with a big personality, so I was like, I am very.
So you flirted with the GP, and what? And he said that, well, you know, this is what you should say when you go and see the surgeon.
Basically, yeah. And before I knew it, I had an appointment within literally 4 weeks to go and see a surgeon.
And you went to see the surgeon, and from that point forward, there was never...
It got granted there and then.
So it was never any mention about your mental health then, about the breathing issues?
Had a little look and said, do you have breathing issues? I just said, yeah. After what I was advised to say, you know, I find it a bit hard to breathe at night. I get the odd nosebleed. And, yeah, within literally 30 seconds of saying it, he said, right, we can do the operation. And I was shocked. I didn't think it would happen.
So you didn't think it would happen because I guess somewhere in your head you'll be thinking, this isn't right. This is not how the NHS should be used. So that must have been why you were thinking, how am I getting away with this?
It was always in the back of my mind. Yeah, how can
it didn't stop you, because this is what I want to understand. There must be a little bit of self-policing when it comes to this. Just because there's cracks in the system and just because you can get away and just because you know of the right things to say to make it happen, self-policing of your own moral standards, wouldn't you be thinking, it's such a stretched system, this should be used for proper medical needs? We've had parents with children that have sat on this sofa that can't get the NHS to fund life-changing, life-saving drugs for them because it's a system that's so stretched.
That did cross my mind, but for me, if I was given that choice, this person needs this treatment more than you. Do you still want your nose job? I would have said no. But because when you're in that system,
that is what's happening.
Indirectly, you can't see the money.
You know, because it got as far as it did, I believed like it was, you know, okay, they were going to do this operation, so maybe I did have something wrong with my nose. Like, it was as bad as I thought, because they're going to do it, because they wouldn't do it if not.
No, but that's not what you've said. I mean, you're now almost sort of believing your own lie, that because you've said, you know, there was nothing wrong with my breathing. I did not have any mental health issues. I milked the system. I'm proud of milking the system.
I flirted with the system, but yeah.
Flirted with the GP who coached me into how to get this for nothing. We've had 3,500 comments so far on this, and the thing is that I understand. I mean, what you're saying there with Holly, you can't actually see the money. You don't see that you're taking it from one area and using it for that. However, you have got 3 kids.
Yeah.
So what sort of lesson are you teaching them? Hey, guys, it's fine to go out and cheat the system. And what's more, I'm going to go on telly and I'm going to be happy about it and have no remorse.
But the thing is, I'm not saying about the remorse, but I am brutally honest and I will take the backlash, but I think I am one of many people that I am just a brutally honest person.
So it's OK to be one of many?
I'm not saying but maybe there is cracks in the system. Maybe they need to be revealed and maybe I am revealing them cracks, that something does need to be done. I'm not saying what I done was right. I'm saying I don't live in regret.
So you're doing us a favour?
Whatever I've done. Wouldn't say it's a favour, but I'm just saying there is cracks in the system, but there's also many other cracks that aren't mentioned, and I can't mention them live on air, but there's many things that are happening.
I just want to read this. We got a spokesperson for the Royal Free London said the claims made by Carla Bellucci relating to Chase Farm Hospital are categorically untrue. Following an injury to her nose, she had a procedure at Chase Farm Hospital which was conducted for medical reasons and no cosmetic work was carried out. All of the appropriate diagnostic tests were completed prior to this operation to ensure her eligibility for the procedure. So, are you making this up for some reason?
I haven't got a lie. I mean, you've seen the pictures. My nose was off. I had a bump. My nose is now shorter. Obviously, they need to cover themselves. But then couldn't they give you that proof? You know, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to come on.
They say it was an injury. Was it an injury?
No, it was not an injury. 120%.
Would you do it again? Now, sitting here now and seeing the reaction, and would you do it again?
I'm not planning of having an
interview
on this. Would I do this again?
Sort of afterwards, coming out of it, realising how far you pushed it and how surprisingly how far it got, and now sitting here right now, would you do it again?
I could lie and just say no, I wouldn't, but then that's part lie. No, we can't go back in time. But would I do it again? I just think I was there. I got offered to take £7,000. You know, most of us, someone in my shoes, would have to take a finance loan or use all your savings to have it done, or someone offers it for free. I took it, and I think a lot of other people would.
What's interesting, what comments are being made today? Nikki says if she openly admits this, then surely she should be forced to pay the money back, just like any other benefit fraudster would. Alicia says, shouldn't she go to prison? This is disgusting behaviour. The lengths that some people will go to get what they want is appalling. A lot of people actually saying, now you've said this publicly, what's to stop them coming after you and saying, you've lied, you've publicly admitted you lied, this is the bill?
But it's not, you know, I've publicly come out, and there is going to be massive backlash with this, but I had a nose, and clearly the NHS are making claims that it was an injury, so clearly there can't be no backlash there, because they're clearly saying I didn't have cosmetic surgery, which I clearly know I did. Okay. So they'd be shooting themselves in the foot.
I mean, it's fascinating and has set social media alight.
We'll read
some of those later.
Yeah.
Thank you for being so brave and coming in. Thank you.
Thank you.